Hey folks, we're here today with Coach Alvin Palmer, head football coach at Tiger Football at Fayetteville High School. Coach, appreciate you sitting down today and talking us a little bit with us.
Thank you, sir.
I know big days coming up here on Tiger Hill, about the end of August.
Big days are coming. It's here. It's here.
You've been wishing for it now for a couple of years, but it's knocking at the door.
Yes, sir, it is.
The Tiger football program will be making the jump from playing a JV schedule to a varsity schedule in District 9A this year, and playing underneath Friday Night Lights. I know that means a whole lot to Alvin Palmer. Now, you came out of doing your conditioning practice, I think in July the 8th. You guys came out of the dead period, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, TSSAA added additional time for acclimation this year. They had, I believe it was a week, started around July 22nd.
July 22nd, and it's been a blessing. I enjoyed that acclimation period, and young men were able to come out in helmets and shoulder pads, and we used all 5 days.
Okay. Well, we've had a really, knock on wood, an exceptionally mild July for what the heat index and the temperatures could be. But I feel like probably every coach would say from a acclimation standpoint of his players, he likes having that additional time period, put on just the helmet and the shoulder pads. Now you're not taking people to ground during that period.
Well, you're not supposed to.
Okay, the accidents do happen.
Yeah, they do.
But as far as working, I don't know what you call Sammy Sled up here on Tiger Hill, but I know that used to be the old name.
Yeah, that's right.
It helps having those pads on, going on and getting those linemen and things like that working.
Well, that's true, because how many games do you play without shoulder pads?
Well, you hope not any.
That's right. So it was great. We enjoyed it.
All right, July 29th, you went full pads and full contact. Is that correct?
We went full pads, and we sort of, we were smart. We didn't do a lot of hitting the first couple of days.
Okay.
But then as time progressed, we started the tempo up a little bit, started hitting more. And we'll see what the tempo is going to be all about. We scrimmage Cornersville over there tomorrow.
Okay. All right, you've got that scrimmage with Cornersville scheduled for Friday night. Then you've got a scrimmage here August the 9th against Cascade.
That is correct.
And that's a 6 o'clock scrimmage as well?
6 o'clock scrimmage, and we'll probably go over to practice field trying to save our game field.
Okay. Then August 16th, you're at Forest Jamboree.
That is correct.
And if I understand right, you take on Cascade. It's probably the last game of the evening. Starts at 9 o'clock at night.
That is correct.
Okay. Well, your first year as a varsity program in District 9A, let me make sure I'm right here. It's made up of Eagleville, Forest, Huntland, Middle Tennessee Christian, Moore County, and Community.
That is correct.
Those are your teams. So, okay. Now, last year you didn't play in your JV schedule. You didn't have a game against a single team in your conference, as you're grinning. And I know you would have probably liked to have had that opportunity to have taken a shot at them.
Well, we tried to schedule some games with our future opponents, but it didn't work out because they schedule set, and usually people that they played on Friday night, they would play JV game on Monday, and they just couldn't work us in. But we worked in this year.
I understand now. Really, to some degree, until film and CDs and everything starts circulating, you've got a little bit of an element of surprise here on the front end, because folks really don't know much about you that's competed in this district.
Well, they don't know much about us, and I'm pretty sure, after talking about, we coaches had a little talk, and after a long discussion, we decided that that's why the Jamboree as is, because usually the host team plays last.
Right.
But that's not happening. They wanted us to play last, and so I guess everybody can sit down and watch us and see what we're all about.
You gonna pull all the dogs out?
No, sir. We're just gonna go over there and go off tackle right, off tackle left, and call it a night.
run it to the left to stop you, and then run it to the right to stop you.
That is correct.
Okay. All right. All right. Your out of district opponents. You've got Richland on the schedule, Wayne County on the schedule, and Page. Now, Page is a Thursday night game. Is that correct?
Thursday night game. They are not allowed to play on a Friday night during their spring break. So that's why we had to play on Thursday.
Okay. And then you've got Friendship Christian.
Friendship
that's outside your district, too. So you've got 4 games out of your district. Okay, if you don't mind, go through your roster.
Okay.
By you guys there, and just tell us a little bit about them. Give me the number and the name and weight, position, that type of thing.
All right. Okay, number 1, we have Kendrell Hall. He's 5'8", 145. Plays wide receiver and defensive back, and he's an 11th grader. Outstanding young man. We're proud to have him here. Number 2, Ryan Yates. He's 5'8", 145, wide receiver and defensive back, and he's one of the first seniors of this football team. He's a great leader, and we're proud to have him. Matter of fact, Ryan and I are from the same community, Malina.
Okay.
Number 3, Trey Emmons. He's 5'6", 150. He's a running back, defensive back. He's a junior. Outstanding running back, and we're proud to have him. Got a lot of speed. Number 4, new man on the schedule is Isaiah Steele. He's 6 foot, 160, wide receiver, defensive back, 11th grader, has great hands. Number 5, Marquise Emmons. He's 5'5", 155, running back, defensive back, and he is a freshman. And he's an outstanding freshman also.
He's one of your speedsters.
Yes, sir. Got number 7, Trevante Emmons. He's 5'10", 205. He's a quarterback, linebacker, and he's a senior. And Trevante, believe it or not, at 205, he hasn't lost any speed, so we're proud to have him. Outstanding young man. Number 8, Darren Patterson. He's 5'10", 160, a wide receiver, defensive back, and he's a senior. And he's getting better with his hands, and he's a great defensive back. Number 10, Jacob Pigg. He's 6'1", 165. He's a wide receiver, quarterback, defensive back, and he is a sophomore. Jacob has proven himself to be he could step in as a starting quarterback right now, but he loves to play receiver, and so we play receiver and quarterback a lot, and he's definitely going to play a lot on defense, and he's an outstanding young man.
He's one of those kids that's athletic enough. You had to go ahead and find a place to get him on the field.
He's too valuable to be on the sideline watching the game.
I understand.
Number 11, transfer from Moore County, Austin Holmeyer. He's 5'10", 150, plays wide receiver, quarterback, linebacker, and he's a freshman, and can't wait to see this young man in action.
Okay.
I hadn't seen him in pads, full pads yet, but hoping to see him soon.
Now, even when a kid comes in that's new to the program, they still have to go through that acclimation period by TSSAA regulations.
Yes, by rules, they still have to go through it. Number 12, Carson Wiseman. He's 5'10", 145. He's quarterback, linebacker, and he's a freshman, and he's going to be an outstanding quarterback for us, too. He has a great arm.
Good.
He's had an injury this all summer with his knee, and so we've been holding him out, and he'll be released in 2 weeks. Okay, number 14, Will Martin. He's 5'10", 155. And he is, we got him down in several positions, but he's primarily a kicker and punter, and he's a sophomore. I got him out of my PE class. I saw him out there kicking one day, and I said, son, you need to play football. And so he kicked a 35-yard field goal barefooted. So I said, you got to play football.
There you go.
Okay, number 20, Gus Palacio. He's 5'8", 185. He's a running back, linebacker, kicker, punter, senior. And as of right now, Gus is doing all the kicking duties, and we're so proud to have him, and he's doing a great job for us.
Good, good.
Okay, number 25, Michael Harden. He's 6 foot, 185. Plays tight end, running back, wide receiver, defensive back. He's a senior, and Michael is getting stronger and stronger. He's going to have to touch the ball more. I told him in the spring he has to touch the ball more because he's an outstanding young man. Number 32, Dorian Thompson. He's 6 foot, 200, running back, wide receiver, defensive back. He's a junior and can't wait to see a lot more of this young man in pads. Number 34, Isaiah Thompson, 6 foot, 220, linebacker, kicker, punter, senior. And Isaiah, hopefully, if he stays healthy this year, should have a great year. We're hoping.
Yeah.
Number 44, John Strong, 6'2", 210, running back, linebacker, and he's a junior. And John's proved himself every day, but we might change him instead of linebacker. He may go to nose guard. Number 50, Cole Rowland, 6'2", 280, plays offensive line, defensive line, and he's just a sophomore.
Okay.
He started here as an 8th grader, so I'm proud to have this young man here.
So you do have a few Tiger Hoggies then?
Well, we'll just say a big tiger.
A big tiger?
A big tiger.
Okay.
Number 51 is Andrew Lawson. Sometimes he'll wear 45 in a game on extra point field goal situations. He's a snapper. Andrew is 6'3", 260. When we first got this young man, he was 225.
Okay.
So he's 260, and he's an offensive lineman, defensive lineman, and he's a senior.
Hard-working kid.
Hard-working. Number 55 is Michael Buchanan. He's 5'9", 210, offensive line, linebacker, and he's a freshman. Number 56, Kane McWilliams. He's 6'3", 220, plays offensive line, defensive line, and he's a freshman. And those two freshmen will start for us.
Okay.
Number 61 is Matt Taylor. He's 6'1", 225. He's an offensive lineman, defensive lineman, and he's a junior. Proud to have Matt here. Number 63 is Matthew Potts. He's 5'8", 170, offensive line, defensive line, freshman. Number 65, Freddie Mitchell. He's 5'6", 155, offensive line, linebacker, and he's also a freshman. And this next young man is number 70, Adrian Stanescu. He's 5'10", 230, offensive line, defensive line. He's a sophomore, and I tell you what, the last 2 years he did not finish the season, but this year we're counting on him. He's a starter, and Adrian has really proved himself in the weight room, and we're so proud of Adrian right now. Number 72 is Brandon Tunstall. He's 6'2", 230, offensive line, defensive line, senior, and he's probably the smartest guy on our team. He's the president of the student body, and he's a good one. Number 78, Tavares Carr, 6'2", another 280 man, offensive line, defensive line, and he's just a freshman.
We're talking about playing time there?
He'll play.
Okay.
He'll play. Okay, number 79 is Donovan Potts. He's 6 foot, 175, offensive line, linebacker, and Donovan is a junior, and he is playing hard right now, and we're so proud of it. Okay, number 84 is Peyton Henderson. He's 5'10", 170. He's wide receiver, linebacker, sophomore, and we stole him from the band. So he decided to come out and play football, and we're proud to have Peyton. And number 85 is Colton Dotson. He's 6'1", 180. He's wide receiver, tight end, defensive back, sophomore, and he works hard every day. Every day.
That's good. You play like you practice.
That is correct.
Heard that all my life. If you don't mind, go through now. I know you've got to agree behind every good head coach there's some assistant coaches. You mind going through your assistant coaches and kind of what their duties are while you're...
Well, I'll do that. Got Bobby Emmons. Bobby Emmons coaches running backs and linebackers. Got Tavis England. He's the defensive coordinator. He coaches defensive line. Got Rob Finch. He's a volunteer coach, and he helps with the offensive line. And then just hired or stole a great coach that came in He was a great steal. Russell Freeman, great offensive line coach, and we're so glad to have him up here on the hill.
Now he was with a team that won a state championship down in North Alabama recently.
That is correct.
This past year.
Yes,
okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
So he's got that what it takes to win attitude.
Yes, sir.
Good, good.
You got Adam McCormick. He coaches defensive backs. And Coach Billy Jack Nudlin. He coaches wide receivers.
Okay.
And Coach Dixie Williams. He's the offensive coordinator.
Okay. Well, you got a good staff behind you, and I know there's a whole lot of excitement this first year of varsity coming up. The expectations, you know, the $1 million question I hear around town is where the Tigers going to fit into this district. Mm-hmm. Now I know the preseason prognosticators had you finishing about 4th in the middle of the pack. You might have just been as happy as if it had you in the cellar on the front end of it here, but
that's why, you know, that's where we should be, the cellar, because we're a new team coming in. They don't know anything about us, but we know everything about them.
Yep, that's true. That's a true statement. And I mean, it's proving time. It's time to prove what you're kind of establishing that means our standard for Tiger football this first year out of the chute.
That's right.
And I know that's something you've been anxiously awaiting here for a couple of years, getting through this JV schedule. So, Coach, appreciate you talking with us. Folks, come out and support these Tigers. They crank up their schedule August 30th.
August 30th.
At home against Richland, I believe.
Yes.
And game time's at 7 o'clock. And come out and support the Tigers.
Go Tigers.